Hello, everybody. Welcome to the commentary track for the Fracktaplots. I am Robert Benfer. I directed the movie. I wrote the movie. I star in the movie. I also did the catering for the movie, and I was actually a stand-in for a few of the scenes. So I did a lot for this movie. This was the first scene that I shot for the movie. I didn't shoot the movie in chronological order, but the way I wanted to do this movie was I wanted to start with the easiest scenes and then work my way up to the harder scenes. I don't think this is I don't think this was the easiest scene to shoot, but it's pretty easy. I shot all the bedroom scenes in one day, so all these little shots of him laying in bed and the window and everything. I did all that in one day, and then after this, I did the backyard scenes. So all of the bedroom scenes and the backyard scenes I did in the same week. Originally, I wanted the spaceship to be CGI for some reason. When I was writing the script, I guess I figured I was gonna find somebody who was going to be willing to make a CGI spaceship. But then, in the end, I decided it would be better to just buy a small model, a plastic model, and do it that way. I don't want to wait around for somebody to make a CGI spaceship. Plus, then I gotta pay them. My friend and webmaster Anthony Rogers made that little animation right there, and then Jason Steele did that shot. That's actually a real building, but the text he added the text onto a building. I think the sky is fake too. He had a sky replacement. Speaking of Jason, he also does the voice of Steven, the green sock puppet in this scene. In case you forgot all the names somehow. You may know Jason from his extremely popular Charlie the Unicorn cartoon, and llamas with hats and all that. And that's the other sock puppet is my other good friend Stephen Nathan. He's the lead singer for a band called Man on Earth. And they're doing pretty good. They were when he was doing the voices for this movie. He was touring around. I think he played with the Veronicas and a few other famous people. My DVD is skipping. This is bad. I hope your DVD isn't skipping. That would be bad for business. Hopefully it doesn't skip throughout the whole movie. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to redo this commentary, and I'm gonna be pissed. Chris Paul Mary does the voice of the doctor and the cop, and he's a pretty funny guy. He does stand up, and he has a YouTube channel. If you can figure out how to spell his last name, then you'll find it. I figured it out, so if I can figure out how to spell something, then well, then you can. Here comes the phone. Here comes the phone. Whoa! Phone to the ear. Phone up to the ear. So, I had to figure out how I was going to do the whole cell phone thing. Because, sock puppets don't have hands, so how are they going to hold the cell phones? And one idea I had was I was going to green screen. I was going to green screen the cell phones and just have them hover in the air. Like they were going to have invisible arms or something. I don't know what I decided it would be funnier to just rubber band to take a rubber band and just rubber band it around a stick. You just have a cell phone on a stick. Cell phone on a stick. Controlling a sock puppet while holding a cell phone up on a stick is it's pretty uncomfortable. This is definitely one of the most uncomfortable movies I've ever made in my life. Probably the most uncomfortable. I mean, claymation can be pretty painful, but I think this takes the cake. I think this takes the whole damn cake in front of everybody. So that's basically just me shining a 500 watt light bulb a 500-watt floodlight through a little window to make it shine like that. That's all that is. Actually, I had no idea what the voice of the Fractaplot was going to be until it came to the part where I had to finally record his voice, and I just for some reason I decided it would be best to just make his voice really deep and just stick a filter on my voice, just make a really deep voice. That grass doesn't look like real grass, does it? I bought that grass from Hobby Lobby. It's basically just like green powder, or I don't even know what the hell it is. But it comes in a bottle, and it's like 18 bucks. It costs 18 bucks to buy that green powder in a bottle. I bought 2 bottles. I should have just I don't know. I should have just used real grass, I guess. I don't know. Hell, I don't know. I don't know. Man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, man. I haven't eaten all day. It's 5:21 right now. As I record this, it's speaking of time, the date. Speaking of time, the date is February 19th, 2010. The movie hasn't come out yet, obviously. I have no idea how many people are going to buy it. I have no idea how much money it's going to make. But I'll find out on March 12th, I guess. I actually just woke up an hour ago. I woke up, I took a shower, and I just got out of the shower. So I'm kind of like a dog, when I get out of the shower, dogs are like, if you bathe a dog, they run around the house, they're all like hyper. That's kind of like how I am right now. Actually, I don't want to be sitting here doing commentary. I want to go out and get a Subway sandwich. I was gonna get wings, but I just got wings yesterday. I got wings yesterday, and then I ate like 3 hot dogs. So that's what I had yesterday. And the day before that, I had wings and a pizza. So I think I'm gonna mix things up a bit and get a Subway sandwich, a submarine sandwich today. This is my favorite set in the whole movie, or one of my favorite sets in the whole movie, because it actually looks like what it's supposed to be. It looks, like a garage workshop. And originally in the script, every time you go back to a scene in Jeff's garage, the spaceship is more and more put together. You slowly see it become a spaceship throughout the movie, and then once I got to production, I thought it would be funnier to just have him hammering the same piece of metal over and over again. So that's what I did. It's funnier, and I'm lazy. That's another reason. This is the famous dinner scene. When I wrote this scene in the script, I already knew that this was going to be my favorite scene in the movie, and it is. That's why I put it up on YouTube. So I think it's gotten over 50,000 views in the first month that it was out. You got Jason there. Jason plays the dad. And I put this scene on YouTube to promote the movie, to promote that I was releasing a sock puppet movie, but some people got confused. Some people thought that this was going to be like a new series. They thought, I'd get comments like, "Man, I can't wait to see the next part. When are you going to release the next Fracktaplots?" Like, no, this is a scene from a long movie. People also think that that's a chocolate bar behind Laura's mother. That's a door. I bought that little door from Hobby Lobby, and I spray painted it like dark brown. I guess it makes it look like a chocolate bar. I don't know why people think that's a chocolate bar. That doesn't make any sense. That's a door. That's a door. It's a door. See? Oh, those plates are actually made out of wood. Those are wood, and I just spray painted them white. They're big chunks of wood. I spray painted them white because I knew I was going to be throwing them around. I didn't want to throw glass plates around my room. That would be dangerous. But it also hurt because, got somebody throwing wooden chunks at my hand. It is actually quite painful. I didn't think that one through, but it's funny. The scene came out funny. May also notice that Jeff. You may notice that Laura's father has two big apples because that's he's the man of the house. He gets two apples. Nobody else gets apples. Mick doesn't get apples. Laura gets like sliced apples, but she's got like one sliced apple. But that's my favorite shot of the movie right there, by the way, of Laura's mother laying her head on the table. That's my favorite shot in the whole movie. It's hard doing commentary. It's harder than you think it would be because you want to stop and talk about one thing for a while, but the movie goes by. You gotta rush it. You gotta hurry it up. You gotta wrap it up because you got a lot of other stuff to talk about. You can't spend too long talking about apples because the next scene is gonna come up and you gotta talk about that. So that's you may notice I'm stumbling over myself a lot and because I want to talk about so much. I spent so long on this movie, but this isn't the only commentary track, so I'm gonna pace myself. If I forget anything, I'll talk about it in the next commentary track. Slow down, Robert. Slow down. Slow. Do I get to talk about the boxes? I want to talk about the boxes. Wait, no. No, I don't talk about the boxes yet. I want to talk about the cardboard boxes because there's a story behind that. But oh yeah, that measuring thing back there, that red thing back there that he uses in the other scene where he puts it on. And he has like the three bubbles. I didn't know what that thing was called, but I actually went out and bought one just for this movie. I guess it's a little too late to talk about that because that scene ended like 5 minutes ago. But I just wanted to let you know. I don't know why. I was worried that the movie would get repetitive and boring because you keep on going back to the same locations. You keep on going back to this garage, and maybe it does get repetitive. But like I said originally in the script, the whole purpose of going back to this garage was that you slowly the ship kind of comes together. But then I got lazy, and plus it's funny. It's funny that that he's just hammering the same piece, and then all of a sudden it becomes a spaceship at the end. This is a good set too, with the pictures in the background. I knew that set had to be good because you're gonna see it a lot in the movie. I'm not happy with this next set. I'm not happy with how the Chinese restaurant came out. I think I could have put a lot more effort into it. I wish you would. There you go. There it is. I wish I would have put a lot more effort into it. I don't know what I was thinking. It's an important set in the movie. It's in the movie like 3 times, and I just kind of threw it together. I mean, I went out and bought like poster board, like green and orange poster board, and then for some reason I scribbled on it. I'm like, this will make it look like a Chinese restaurant. Just scribble on the poster board. That's a good idea. I've never been to a Chinese restaurant that looks like this. The table's fine, but the Chinese restaurant sucks. The Jeff sock puppet and the Jake sock puppet look a lot alike. That looks like Jeff, doesn't it? But the reality is, in real life, the Jeff sock puppet is actually green. It's actually green, but I guess because of the lighting, it makes it look brown like Jake. But it's not. Jeff's sock puppet is actually green. If I were to show you Jeff's sock puppet in real life, you'd be like, "That's not the same sock puppet. That's way too green." Whereas with Jake's sock puppet, with Jake Ball's sock puppet, he's actually that color. He's actually brownish. So I didn't know that they were gonna look that much alike, and plus when you're shooting a movie over the span of 7 months, I didn't, I didn't mean to give them both the same kind of hairstyle. They both their hair almost looks exactly the same, and I used the same eyes. It was a mistake. I didn't make all the sock puppets at the same time. I kind of made the sock puppets as I went along with the production. Like when I got to the first scene where I needed Jake, I'm like, well, I gotta make the Jake sock puppet. I gotta make the Jake sock puppet tonight because I gotta shoot his scene tomorrow in the Chinese restaurant. So I didn't mean to make Jake and Jeff look alike, but they're not the same sock puppet. I had a couple of comments on YouTube on the trailer of people saying, "Aren't those the same sock puppets?" They're not. Oh, that's Nikki, by the way. Nikki, my sister Nikki Benfer. She plays the role of Laura, which originally she wasn't going to. The role of Laura was actually written for my friend Danielle. You'll see her name in the special features. I'm not gonna. I'm not special features. Special thanks at the end. I'm not gonna attempt to say her last name because I'll butcher it. Yeah, so I really wanted her to play the part of Laura, and she really wanted to do it. She was excited about it when when I told her that I wanted her to do it, but she just didn't have the time, and she wouldn't have been able to put in the time that I needed her to in order to do this movie. So I just had Nikki do it. I love this. I love that. I love that. I love that moment. You know, I'm actually if there's anything that I regret about this movie, and trust me, I have a lot of regrets. But one of the main things I regret about this movie is how fast I kill Laura's father. I think this movie could have actually been about. I think this movie could have just been about Laura's father and Mick and just the conflict that they have, because that's a lot more interesting than the Fracktaplots, in my opinion. I love these two scenes, or the three scenes that he's in, but I love these two scenes. This is so I kind of regret killing him off in the first 20 minutes, and and if I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people love his character, and if you bought this movie thinking that he was going to be a big part of the movie, then I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry, but just enjoy the three scenes that he's in. This character, it's a good character. There's actually water. That's not really gasoline. I don't want to have gasoline all over my bedroom. That would be nasty. Ew, it would stink. Ha. I always like the match flying out of his mouth when he talks. Oh, cool. I can talk about the boxes now. Okay. Yes. Yes. Are you ready for me to talk about those boxes? Here I go. Actually, I bought those boxes at Hobby Lobby, and I needed more than 50 boxes. So I went to one Hobby Lobby, and I bought all the little boxes that they had, but they didn't have enough. They only had like 25. So I took them all and I put them in my basket. I bought all of them. I looked like a weirdo because I was walking out with like 25 boxes, like some kind of freak. I'm like, well, this sucks. They didn't. I bought all the boxes they had. What do I do now? So what I did was I got in my car and I drove like 50 minutes to another Hobby Lobby, and I bought all the boxes from that store, and they didn't have enough either. They had like 20. So really, I didn't. I was about 20 boxes short of what I needed. I just had to work with it. So that's why these shots are so tight. That's why they're so tight, because I didn't have a lot of room to work with, because I didn't have enough boxes to fill up the screen. I actually had to rearrange. I had to use a little forced perspective. I kind of do some little tricks. I had to rearrange the boxes in each shot. But you're actually looking at the same boxes. The boxes that you're looking at right there are the same boxes that you're looking at right there. But I had to rearrange them to make it look like there were more boxes than there really are. But my original vision was that you weren't going to be able to see anything past these boxes. You weren't going to see that black poster board back there. It was going to be nothing but boxes. But you know, I didn't want to wait until the next day because I didn't know if they were going to, have more boxes the next day. And, I was on a schedule. I had to finish my movie, so I just had to work with it. That's what happens in movies. That's what happens in movies. I don't have the budget, to say, hey, art guy, make me 100 boxes. Yeah, I can't do that. I love I had to figure out the comedic timing. I had to, figure out when I should when I should get to the moment where he knocks the piece of metal off the table. Should it be the first scene? No, it shouldn't be the first scene. It should be the second scene. No, the third scene. The third garage scene is when he knocks the piece of metal off the table. My mom my mom is always taking like old props that I don't use anymore. You know, like when you're in kindergarten and you paint something and you bring it home and your mom's all impressed and she wants to put it on the, she's like, let's put it on the refrigerator. Well, that's how my mom is with my production stuff. So after I finished all the scenes with the garage in the garage, I have that little shelf. I actually built that shelf. It was like I was in shop class. But after I was done, I took the set apart, and it was just one wall with like that shelf on it. My mom found it, and she's like, "Did you make this?" Like, yeah, it was for my movie. Like, I'm gonna keep this. I'm like, why? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna use it for? You're gonna use it for a shelf? She's like, yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be sturdy enough. So now it's hers. It's laying in the front room on the ground. I don't think she's ever gonna put it up on the wall. Oh, I thought it'd be funny if every time you cut to one of these dinner scenes, they're eating their choice of food is weirder every time. The first scene they're eating a salad, which that's not weird. The next scene they're eating carrots, and this time they're eating a grated cheese, and now they're dead. Now they're dead. So where'd that get them? It's actually the only impressive special effect in this whole movie. That's Dom Fira, my good friend Dom Fira. He is a really talented, funny guy. Sorry if my voice gets distant all of a sudden. I turned my head to look to make sure that the thing's still recording my voice because I'm OCD like that. I'm like, is it still recording? Okay, good, because I don't want to be just sitting here talking to a mic if it's not recording. Anyway, let's talk about Dom again. Dom Fira is a very talented guy. When I announced that he was going to be in my movie, first of all, I knew that he had a fan base. I knew that he had a big fan base, but I didn't know that my fans knew who he was. So when I put out the first teaser, I'm like, yeah, Jason's in this, Dom's in this, and everybody's like, Dom? Dom? You got Dom Fira in this? Dom freaking Fira? I'm like, yeah. I didn't know people were gonna freak out, and if I knew my fans, loved him so much, I would have given him a bigger part. So if you bought this movie thinking that Dom had a bigger part in this movie, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought he was a nobody. No, that's not true. I knew he had, like I said, I knew he had fans, but I didn't know he was that, famous that people were going to be excited about him being in my movie. So I'm sorry, but I promise I'll give him a bigger part in my next movie. That's a sure thing. And that's Dr. Pickles. Dr. Pickles is actually from a short claymation that I made. You can find it on my YouTube, unless I decide to delete it later. But I know these commentaries are forever, so gotta make it clear that if you can't find it, it means I deleted it. But Dr. Pickles is from a short claymation that I made called Zachary and Ga Order a Pizza. And it's basically the same thing, He's talking to somebody, and at the end, Pickles come out. And for some reason, I thought it was so great that I had to bring it back for the movie. I don't remember why. Actually, having little bits on the TV, having the character watch the TV was the idea behind that was I'm kind of famous for my short videos. I make a lot of short videos. I release, I'm a YouTube star kind of guy. So I thought it would be appropriate, since I'm known for short movies. I thought it would be appropriate to have little short movies playing on the TV throughout the movie, like Doctors and Cops, like little skits like Doctors and Cops and Dr. Pickles and the Timothy Stack commercials. So they may not have anything to do with the plot or anything, but I thought it would be like little funny things to put in. Though they don't really have. It does kind of slow down the pace of the movie, doesn't it? Like, Laura's parents have just been blown up, and then I cut to Dr. Pickles, which kind of, for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes of the movie, and then you kind of forget that you're watching a movie that's not about Dr. Pickles. Like, oh yeah, this isn't a movie about Dr. Pickles and him shoving pickles in somebody's ear. It's not what the movie's about. This whole sock puppet humping the couch thing was originally going to be worse. It was actually a little longer. It was about a minute longer. It gets pretty bad, but I cut it out because I thought it went too far. when I first started on this movie, I didn't stop and think, okay, I want this movie to be more adult oriented, so I'm gonna add sex jokes in it. That's not what happened. Basically, what happened is, uh, when I started on the script, when you start on a script for a movie, it's like a whole new game. There's like no more rules. It's not the rules that I had for this movie aren't the same as the rules that I had for Clay World. For Clay World, the characters would never act like this. The characters just don't act like that. But for this movie, when I'm writing the script, I just kind of wrote whatever I thought was funny. And I thought, the sock puppet humping a couch was funny, and I thought a sock puppet named Jake Balls was funny, so I did it. I'm not really trying to. Oh, that door back there. That door looks like crap. Look, I apologize for that door back there. Look at that door. But what was I supposed to do? I mean, I already bought the poster board, and I didn't want to go out and buy more poster boards, so I just kind of used that. I tried to put Mick in front of it so you can't see it as well, but it's there. Yeah, you see it right there. The lighting is also horrible. I apologize for the lighting of this scene. Really bad lighting. Crazily angry. That's Jim Ether. Jim Ether is a crazy guy. I like him. I'm a fan of his. I was a big fan of his back in the Newgrounds days. Me, Jason Steele, and Jim Ether, we all used to upload animations to a website called Newgrounds.com. This was before YouTube came along. Uh, and Jimmy, I used to watch Jim Ether's animations. I was a big fan of his, and I don't think I had ever talked to him until I asked him to be a part of this movie. I always kind of just watched his movies from far away. Can't talk. I'm sorry. Like I said, I just woke up, but I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. Maybe I just don't know how to talk. But what was I talking about? So pissed off at my mouth for not talking right. This was shot at my friend Justin's house. He Justin lives about 2.5 hours away from me, so whenever I needed him to help me film a scene, I would have to drive all the way over there just to do it. But this is one of the scenes that he helped me out with. Um, this is one of those scenes where the production was so messy. I had no idea how I was going to edit it, but somehow I pulled it off. Oh, this was fun. This is fun, pouring milk on my own hand. That's actually a stunt double for Mick. I had two Micks made. I had one Mick that you see throughout the movie, and then there's a stunt Mick that I used just for that scene. Oh wait, no, I used him in the cheese ball scene too, where you get cheese ball crumbs all over his face. Oh, I just got an email on my iPhone. It's probably just spam though. Yeah. Yeah, it's not spam. See if I can read some fan mail. If I can find some interesting fan mail. Here's one. I'm your biggest fan. Alright. That's pretty incredible. See if I can find another one. You rock. Yeah. So people actually, I guess they take the time to send me these emails, and then they say stuff like this. Wow. Here's another one. Yo, what's up? My name is Emily, and yeah, I don't take this stuff seriously, you know. All right. This one says hi. I always forget that there's actually human beings out there typing this stuff up and sending it to me. Sometimes it just seems like there's like a machine somewhere out there just sending me random words and phrases that don't really mean anything. But no, these are actually human beings. You know, somewhere out there, this person exists, and if I'm lucky, I'll never meet them. Not that sorry if that sounds mean, but I can't imagine what it's like to actually have a conversation with these people. Anyway, okay, that's enough. I gotta put the phone. I gotta get back to talking about the movie. More movie. More movie talk. Gotta talk about the movie. You know, when you it's funny. When you're working on a feature-length film. At least with me, anyway. I don't know if it's just me or if it's normal, but you're working on a feature-length film. You spend all these months shooting. You know, I spent like 7 months shooting, and 3 months editing, and like 2 months on the script. Believe it or not, you're spending all this time, and every day that you're working on this movie, you're like, man, I can't wait until I'm finished with this damn movie so I can watch it on my TV. You know, I want to watch it the whole way through on my TV. I can't wait, and like. Every day that you're shooting this movie, you think about that day. You think about the day that you're finally going to be able to lay on your bed and just enjoy your movie. And then finally, when you're finished with the movie, you don't want to watch it because you're so sick and tired of it. You're so sick and tired of looking at these sock puppets because I just spent 3 months editing this movie. I don't want to. This is actually my second time watching this movie all the way through. Um, and it may seem weird, but you spend all this time working on a movie, and like, I don't want to watch that shit. I want to watch other movies. Maybe in a couple of months I'll feel like watching this movie, but then again, that's what I said about Clayworld Off the Table, and I haven't seen that movie since it first came out 5 years ago. So, boom, split, ew, ugh. Something I learned while making this movie is sock puppets are really horrible actors. They always have this like goofy ass smile on their face. So when you get to a scene where they're supposed to look mad or sad or serious about something, all they do is they just sit there and smile at you. And you're sitting there, you're like just messing with it. You're like, how do I make him look not happy? He always looks happy. Wipe. Stop smiling, sock puppet. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about movies. That's why they say never work with kids, animals, or sock puppets. Or me. Or women. They belong in the kitchen. Speaking of women, I don't think I fed my girlfriend all week. I bought that stuff at Hobby Lobby. Those little clocks. I made a lot of trips to the Hobby Lobby during the production of this movie. It actually got to the point where I would go to 2 different Hobby Lobbies because, I didn't want to seem like a weirdo, like some guy coming in the Hobby Lobby like every 4 days. Like, what does he do with this stuff? I'll just go in the Hobby Lobby, I'll buy like little bushes and poster board. Like, what does he do with all this poster board and bushes? It's and like mini clocks. What does he do with all this stuff? A sick man. What does he do? I apologize for that effect too, that phone effect. That says speaker. That looks horrible. I gotta fix that later. I'm gonna fix that later, but right now, I'm just glad I finished the movie, but I'm gonna fix that effect later. Maybe I'll come out with like a special edition or like Christmas or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll never happen. It'll probably never happen, but I apologize for that effect. That looks awful. This scene was originally not going to be in the movie. It originally wasn't in the script. Originally in the script, you only hear that he dies. You have this whole phone conversation. You only hear that he, got blown up and died. But it wasn't until I was like halfway through the production that I realized, wait a minute, I introduced this character, Max, like he's gonna be this important character, and then and then you just hear that he dies like 30 minutes later. That's horrible screenwriting. So I added this extra bit of him, with the cars and everything, which it's still horrible screenwriting. I introduced a character in the first 5 minutes, and then 30 minutes later you hear that he's dead. It's not really good. Whatever. And the spaghetti. Actually, I filmed this scene at 3 a.m. and I realized that I didn't have any spaghetti, so I went out to Walmart at like late at night and bought a little TV dinner. I worked really hard. Made a lot of trips to Walmart and Hobby Lobby during this. Bought those candles at Walmart. When I was doing this scene, I got some of the candle wax in Laura's hair, and I had to cut some of her hair out to get the wax out. So you'll notice in some of the scenes that her hair's been cut on one side. I think it was just one side. I don't remember which scenes those are. It's probably some of the last scenes that I shot. Like the dinner scene. The dinner scenes, you'll notice that her hair has been all cut up and mutilated. Because I'm stupid. But it's not really interesting. But it's the only thing that I can think of to talk about for this part of the commentary. Maybe you found the information interesting. Maybe you didn't. But that was the candle wax in Laura's hair part of the commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked that part of the commentary just as much as you liked the other parts of the commentary. Laura has so much hair. So much hair. How could you not get candle wax in it? I didn't want to get candle wax in the hair. When I was shooting that scene, some of the candle wax got into her hair. And I had to cut out some of her hair to get the candle wax out. She got candle wax in her hair. Making a feature-length sock puppet movie is something I've been wanting to do for a few years now. I've been wanting to do this since I was like 15. I'm 22 now, so about 7 years I've been wanting to make a feature-length sock puppet movie. But every time I would tell one of my friends, because my friends like my claymation, they're like, what I'd really like to do is I'd like to make a feature-length sock puppet movie, like a 70-minute long movie, just like nothing but socks. Nobody would like it. Everybody would look at me like I was like crazy. They didn't even want to talk about it. It's one of those things where, like, you bring up something you want to talk about, but the other person is so, like, they think it's such a horrible idea that they kind of change the subject. No, I'm serious. I am going to make the sock puppet movie. And it's going to be good. And then I make the sock puppet movie and it sucks. It's this piece of shit. No, I think it's funny. It's not the best looking movie in the world. I mean, obviously, it's about as low budget as you can get, but the purpose was I just wanted to make a silly, funny movie, packed with jokes, and that you can watch more than once and enjoy. So, if it made you laugh, and it made you happy, then the movie did its job. But if it did the opposite, if it made you mad, it made you not happy, then the movie failed. If that's the case, then I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad. I didn't mean to make you unhappy. If you came here expecting $1 million budget and CGI spaceships, You came to the wrong place. I use toy model spaceships hanging from a string. Those are my special effects. That's what I'm working with. You bitch. You bitch. I'm gonna miss that Hobby Lobby, though. I'm gonna miss it. I mean, it's not like I'm never gonna go to it again, but it's gonna be a while. I mean, that was like my second home. You know, like I said, every few days I would go over to that Hobby Lobby or the other Hobby Lobby, because like I said, I would get embarrassed because I would go there so much. Because I'm weird like that. But I'm glad I'm done shooting. I'm glad I'm done with the movie. It took way too long to make this damn thing. But throughout shooting the movie, I had a whole bunch of poster board and props in this room. And it's not a very big room, so after a while it got very crowded. Shooting this movie was a very miserable experience that I hope I never relive. But maybe it'll be worth it if people like the movie. If people don't like the movie, then it wasn't worth it. I wasted my time and money. I should have just stuck to making songs about oranges and cats. You're finished, they'll tell me. You shouldn't have made a sock puppet movie. It was the stupidest idea ever. I don't like this scene, by the way. I don't like how I did. I don't like it. I did a bad job shooting it. In fact, I'm gonna turn away until the scene is over. I'm gonna look over here. I'm facing the wall until the scene is over. Wow, there's all kinds of all kinds of stuff over here. There's a lot more stuff on this side of the room than there is on that side. I should have been facing this side the whole time. I like this side of the room better. Yeah. Oh wow, I just found a Slim Jim. I'm gonna turn back around. I just found a Slim Jim. I don't know where this came from. How long has this been in here? Oh man, it's not the original though. It's hot. I've never tried the hot Slim Jim before. Let's see if it's any good. Oh, you're gonna get your head cut off. Ew, man, this Slim Jim stinks. Ew. I'm not sure I even want to eat it. Oh, this is the I had this scene in the teaser. If you've seen the teaser, you may notice that I did some clever editing where the first half of the teaser is from the first scene of the movie, and the second half of the teaser begins when that blade comes through the wall. So some clever editing. That's again, this is the first day of shooting. I did all this in the first day. On one day, actually. Oh, I forgot to mention the scene where Timothy Stack gets his head cut off. The day that I shot that was I remember that day. I shot that scene on the day that Michael Jackson died. I remember that day. I woke up around 2, got up, I shot that scene, I half-assed it, obviously, and then I went to the mall. Yeah, I was eating pizza at the mall, and my friend texted me and said that Michael Jackson died. I remember that day. I don't remember this day, though. But apparently it happened. Apparently that day it happened because I wouldn't be watching this scene. So I know it happened. You know, those aren't... those aren't the cheese balls that I wanted to use. When I wrote the script, um, the cheese balls that I wanted to use, they don't sell them anymore. When I wrote the script, uh, I really loved these little like this can of you'd be able to buy these cans of cheese balls at HEB. Yeah, I think HEB is just like a Texas thing, but it's basically like the Walmart of Texas. We have Walmarts too, but we have HEB too, and they would sell these like big cans of like cheese balls like that, except not as big as the cheese balls that I use in this movie. But by the time I got to shooting this scene, they didn't sell those cheese balls anymore, and that pissed me off. I love those cheese balls. So I had to buy these. These are Cheeto brand cheese balls, and they're not as good. And they're a lot bigger and they're harder to eat. So that pissed me off. I'm just rambling about cheese balls. That's Stunt Mick again. For some reason, later in a later draft of the script, I changed the name of cheese balls to cheese poofies, which I don't know why I did that. I looked at the script like, why did I change it to cheese poofies? No, this is going back to cheese balls. This is going right back to cheese balls. I'm changing this back to cheese balls. The hell was I thinking? It was I went in my backyard and found that rock, and it was a lot harder to find that rock than I thought it would be. And that's the end of that story. That was my story of the rock that I found in my backyard. It's another incident where I went out to Walmart late at night just to buy some bacon for this scene. I worked hard on this movie. I don't know if it looks like I worked hard on it, but I worked hard on it. At the time of shooting this movie, my sleeping schedule was all messed up, which which it's not anymore at the moment anyway. I kind of go in and out of good and bad sleeping schedules. When I was doing this, I was staying up all night shooting the movie and waking up like at 6 during the day. But now, today I actually woke up around 1, which isn't that bad for me. It's actually pretty early for me, so I'm doing pretty good. Oh, I'm looking at my iPhone. I just got a comment on my Facebook from my friend. I'm one of those douchebags where when you hang out with them, they're always looking at their phone. That's me. Always texting. Anyway, the comment wasn't interesting. I was gonna read it, but the comment's not interesting. I like how this set came out. It's actually just like one wall. That's what the set is. It's just one wall, but I like it. It kind of actually looks like they're in a spaceship. Unlike the Chinese restaurant, which doesn't look like they're in a Chinese restaurant. So it's always good when your sets actually look like, you know, the thing that they're in. They're in a spaceship and it looks like they're in a spaceship. That's cool. I basically just went to Lowe's and bought a bunch of like metal scraps and hot glued them to a poster board, which the poster board I spray painted silver. Uh, I used a lot of spray paint during the making of this movie. And as soon as I finished the scene, the set basically fell apart. The scraps of metal, uh, fell off of the poster board, so I finished it just in time. I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention that the blade, the circular blades that the Fractaplot shoots out of his mouth, that cut Timothy's head off and all that crap. Those are actually made out of clay. I had no when I was writing the script, I had no idea how I was gonna get these blades. I didn't know if I was gonna somehow find a plastic toy blade somehow, or make one out of wood, whittle one out of wood. I don't have any idea how I would do that. But then I decided to just make it out of clay. So I molded the blade out of clay, and then I spray painted it silver. Used a whole lot of silver spray paint in this scene. That's a black poster board with spray paint, silver spray paint all over it. I wanted the inside of this spaceship to be nothing but silver. The Fracktaplots are spray painted silver, which I had no idea what the Fracktaplots were going to look like until I got to this scene. I knew they were going to be silver, and I knew they were going to have circles on their chests, but that's it.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
Oh god. Oh god, what have I done? What have I done? Oh no. Oh no. I've done horrible things. Oh yeah, may notice that Mick has little sparkles on his face. He has little sparkly things on his face. The reason for that is because I didn't shoot this scene in chronological order. For some reason, I shot some of the fight stuff first, and because of that, since he was like rubbing against I guess from rubbing against one of the silver Fracktaplots, he got some silver stuff on his face. So that's why I should have shot this part first, but I didn't know that he was gonna have sparkly sparkles all over his face. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. I got my hand on my face. 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 Got a serious case of a hand on my face. Got a serious case of a hand on my face. What are you gonna do when you got a hand on your face? Gonna get that shit off your face. Gonna get that shit right off your face. Got a hand on my face. Yeah. Production was a complete mess. Every time I would finish shooting a scene, because sock puppets are so limited. You're so limited to what you can do with sock puppets. Like just a simple thing like having them talk on the phone. Like, okay, well, how am I gonna do that? They don't have hands, so you gotta figure out how to do that. So just simple things they can't even do. Retards. But but just shooting a scene was so hard. It's just so messy. Just every time I would finish shooting a scene, I would think, man, how the hell am I gonna edit this? How is this going to look? I do not want to be the one to edit this mess because there's just so much bad footage because sock puppets suck. But especially this scene because there's just so much crap and it was just a complete mess. Like I was dreading editing the scene, editing this movie, and it took 3 months to edit. There's just so much. I think it was like over 20 hours of sock footage. So I don't know anybody else who has that. I don't know anybody else who has over 20 hours worth of sock puppets on an external hard drive somewhere. I think I'm the only one.
got my hand on my face. I got my hand on my face. Got a serious case of my hand on my face. Hand on my face. Hand on my face, part 2. Not as long as hand on my face, part 1. Whoa!
You may notice that Jeff has a bunch of green stuff on his face. The reason the reason for that is because there's a scene. It's the last scene where he falls onto the floor and he has his face in the grass and he's screaming and all that stuff because he thinks everybody's dead. And I tried my best to get all the grass off his face, but I couldn't. I couldn't quite get all of it off. So because of that, now he has green stuff on his face. And this scene. Well, hold still, Jeff. I gotta get some of the... No, just hold still, Jeff. I gotta get some of this grass off your face. You gonna get the grass off your face? Yeah, gotta get the grass off your face. Are you gonna get all that grass off my face? I'm gonna get all the grass off your face. You said you were gonna get all the grass off my face. Sorry, Jeff. I thought I could get all the grass off of your face. You said you were gonna get all the grass off of my face. I know. I'm sorry. I thought I could do it. I thought I could get all the grass off of your face. Please get all the grass off my face. I can't do it. You got a lot of grass stuck on your face. I'm so glad this movie is finished. You know, I can finally go back to doing, the things that I love, like injecting babies with heroin. As soon as this DVD is out, I'm going to go out and inject as many babies with heroin as I can. I don't do heroin. I'm not into that. I just like injecting heroin into babies. And ever since I started production on this movie, I haven't really had a lot of time to inject heroin into not even animals. This whole part right here is actually based off a comic that I made when I was 7. When I was 7 years old, I wanted to be a comic book artist. I used to make like little comic books. And I made this comic where this ninja was fighting a robot. And he's fighting this robot and fighting him and fighting him. But the robot won't die no matter what. And he's like, why can't I kill this guy? And the robot's like, the only way you can kill me is if you push this button on my chest. And the ninja's like, oh, okay. And he kicks him in the chest, and the robot blows up. And that's the end of the comic. Except back then, it was supposed to be serious. And now it's funny. But it's a joke that I came up with when I was 7 years old. I didn't realize it was a joke yet. I was a stupid kid. Scientists will agree that 7-year-olds are retarded. So when you write scenes like these, they always seem better in your head. And then when you go to, to actually do these visual effects, you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm lazy. These effects are going to look horrible. Hold on a second, I just got to shave real quick. Just a quick shave. Gotta shave that face. Gotta shave the face. Gotta shave that face. Gotta shave the face. Gotta shave that face. Gotta shave the face. Mmm. Mmm. If you're saying anything, I can't hear you. Because I'm too busy shaving my face. I'm shaving my chin now. I will not stop until there is no longer any hair on my chin. There we go. Alright. So I had like a few endings. In the original script, him and Mick and Laura actually had like a little talk for a couple of minutes. Not a couple of minutes. I think it was like a minute. Doesn't matter. But Laura apologizes for treating Mick the way she did, and they're finally at peace, and they part ways. And I look at and I read it, and I'm like, this isn't funny. At one point, she was actually gonna die. Yeah, it's basically gonna be the same where Jeff is on the ground, Mick tells him to get off the floor, and then Jeff looks over, he's like, hey, I think your girlfriend died. And they look over, and Laura's laying over there on the ground, dead from the crash. And Mick just looks at Jeff and he's like, well, that's okay. I just wanted to break up with her. I finally got to break up with her. But I thought that was kind of dark. I thought it was kind of dark to kill Laura. I don't know why, even though she's a bitch. So finally, I got the ending you got here. Oh yeah, there was another thing. The movie wasn't going to originally. The movie wasn't going to end with the spaceship flying into the sky. There was actually going to be one more scene after this with Dr. Pickles, except Laura was going to be on Dr. Pickles, and she was going to be talking about how her boyfriend broke up with her and how her whole family's dead. And then of course what happens. Then Dr. Pickles he shoves pickles in her ear, and then the movie ends that way. But I thought it was kind of it was too predictable. As soon as you see her going on Dr. Pickles, you know what's gonna happen. She's gonna get. I think she was actually gonna get double teamed by two pickles, not just one pickle. It was gonna be one pickle in her mouth and then one pickle in her ear, which that actually would have been kind of funny. And then, but yeah, I cut it out. Actually, no, I didn't cut it out. I never filmed it. Okay, I gotta get up and stretch. I've been sitting down way too long. Stretching my leg out. Stretching my leg off. Stretching my leg way off. Oh man, I just broke my leg off. I'm just gonna put it right here. Alright. Okay. That's the Bluetooth headset that I never used. I got it for Christmas one year. I haven't used it once. So I finally found use for it. I glued it to Steven's head, and now Steven has like a little headset. It's kind of cute, Kind of cute, giving a little sock puppet a headset. So, finally, it's become useful. Yeah, that's my sock puppet movie. As you can see, it was directed and written by me, by the way. And I did voices for it. So did Jason. Nikki Benfer's in the movie too. And Jim Ether. This song is Surefire by Econoline Crush. And I found this band by going on MySpace and searching for some music, because I knew I was going to need some new music for this movie. So I just kind of searched a bunch of different genres, the type of music that I would need. And basically, and then finally I came across this band, and I liked them, so I thought it'd be cool to put them in my movie. I didn't have any idea how big they were. I didn't know how big their fan base was, but I actually used this song in the trailer, and I got a few YouTube comments from people who knew who this band was. So I guess they had a pretty big fan base. It's just like that. It's just like that thing with Dom Fear, where I know they have a fan base, but I didn't know any of my fans knew who they were. Those are the slow rolling credits. And this next song coming up is a Man on Earth. It's who I've been, like I've said earlier, I've been friends with them for a while. They actually did music for my first movie. They're pretty cool, and this is my special thanks. Thanking my webmasters and Tom Fulp, who I haven't talked to in years. Best friend. Sorry, Sammy. Sorry I didn't give you a role in my movie, but I put you in the special thanks list at least. It's my dad and my mom. That's Danielle. That's my friend. I'm not gonna even try to say that Like I try to say her last name, but she is, and those are just random friends. Those are just random friends of mine. Hey Robert, you know, why did you put my name in the special things? I had nothing to do with the movie. I don't know. I wanted to make the credits longer. That's all. There's not a lot of people in this movie, you know. Anyway, um, like I said earlier, I don't know how many people are gonna buy this movie. I don't know how well it's gonna do, but apparently you bought the movie, so thank you.